Is this your passion?
I think the normal pathway is to grind quite a bit. A lot of time they're too busy, and a lot of time they're just not interested, and you deal with a lot of rejection. Don't be so hard on yourself.
We're down here outside the art gallery with Will. Will's just interviewed me. Will, what do you do for a profession?
I'm a journalist.
I think a lot of people want to do journalism, but not many people make it. Why do you think you've made it?
I think I was quite open with where I was happy to go. I'm from Perth originally, and when I got an opportunity to head on the other side of the country to the Central Coast, I took it quickly. I said yes quite fast. So I didn't really give that opportunity time to breathe. I just headed straight over there. You really got to throw yourself into regional news, and then once another opportunity came up to move to Adelaide, I did the same thing and moved here. So I think a lot of people prefer to stay where they grew up and where they studied, but if you're willing to travel, it's only a win, really.
Is it a bit of a hustle becoming a journalist? Because you said you did regional news. Do you sort of have to grind at the beginning?
Yeah. I think the normal pathway is to grind quite a bit. You've really got to do your time and cut your teeth doing jobs that are quite tricky, high workloads, tight deadlines. In the regions I would have started, like my official hours would have started like 9, and your stories have to be filed by 3:30, but realistically you're doing well, 11, 12 hours a day, because you're finding your own stories, you're finding your own interviews, and you're trying to make that happen every single day.
Sure.
So it is quite hard.
Is this your passion?
I'd say so. I think telling stories definitely is. Like yourself, you know what that's like. I think it's something different every day. You're not stuck in an office.
Yeah.
I did that for a little bit as well. So I think my passion is definitely being out, talking to people, telling stories, finding interesting things that are happening, and learning about the city that I'm living in. Because like I said, I'm from Perth, so coming to Adelaide or over east, it's the best way to find out what makes the place you live in tick.
Do you deal with a lot of rejection?
Oh, absolutely. We're out today here. We're trying to speak to young adults about whether they think they're going to be owning a home in their lifetime. Sure. And the amount of people that just tell you to no, just tell you to go away, it happens every single day when you try to talk to people on the street about what they think. Sure. And it's a very important part of the story. I know we're annoying, but like just asking people to give us their 2 cents and what they feel about things that are happening in the world around them. A lot of time they're too busy, and a lot of time they're just not interested. And you deal with a lot of rejection, even up in the higher ups, trying to get an interview with someone who should be answering for something and they don't really want to talk. They find ways to weasel out of it. So you've got to kind of twist their arm in a way, or convince them that it's in their best interest to put their feelings public.
How do you deal with rejection personally? Does it affect you?
I think it definitely does, but you learn to kind of deal with it. Okay. And I guess you learn to move on and get the next one. I mean, the rejection sucks, but someone's always going to say yes.
Okay.
So it's all about the next story, really. I mean, no day is perfect.
Sure.
It'll all come back around.
What do you think your rejection rate is?
I reckon, man, like high 80, 90%. Okay. But like those are like small rejections, you know what I mean? Like on every day, like asking people to talk about something that they might not know about, or they might not think they know about. People just don't want to really talk. Sure. But in terms of like big ticket rejection, in terms of going for something and not getting it, I'd say that's still pretty high, but it's about putting yourself out there. I mean, that's how you get anywhere in life.
Sure. So how do you still manage to sort of like continue on in your career if you like every day you're getting knocked down? Do you think it makes you stronger, or do you think people are getting less friendly, or what do you think it is?
I think there are always people who are unfriendly out there, but I think just getting up is worth it. Like you'll bounce back and you feel good about yourself, and you get stronger and you get better and you learn a lot. And it's always on to the next thing, the next story. You're always going to achieve something if you keep trying, and I think that's what you keep getting up for, because if you're going to take one rejection and lay down, then it might not mean that you're a weak person. It might just mean that it's not for you, because you're hustling it. You got to find what your heart's in. That makes you want to strive and push beyond people telling you that it's not for you.
Do you classify yourself as successful?
I think I'm getting there. I think I'm getting there. I'd like to get paid more, but I think everyone would really. But I think I'm successful because I've managed to move to different cities and meet interesting people and have friends basically across the country. Sure. Some of them in other countries, and I think that's very successful because I get to hear interesting stories from interesting people all the time, and that's I think what really makes me tick.
Just lastly, what's one bit of advice you would give to your younger self if you're looking back?
Don't be so hard on yourself. It's okay to make mistakes, especially in your late teens and early 20s. Sure. It's all about finding what you're good at and what you want to do. I think the world of getting into a degree or getting into a job and staying there is done. I don't think people should do that. I think get in, try something, get good at it. If you're really good at it and you want to be there, stay with it. All power to you. But if you get into something, get good at it, you don't like it anymore, and you want to move on, it's not going to blow your life up. Be sensible about it. But absolutely, keep moving.
Barry, thanks so much, mate. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks so much.
That was great.